like even eggs and sour cream, and like if you need any kind of weird, I don't know, Worcestershire sauce or something that comes with that recipe, spice, it's all ready to go. And I got like a cool little Hello Fresh apron that I've been using as I tool around the kitchen.
One of those.
And it was just like it made it fun and cute, and it tells you how long it's going to take, so it's very easy to plan the stuff out. We had a pork fajita bar, they called it, like you know, you could just kind of assemble that. And we also had like these like meatloaf patties with mashed potatoes. And it was all delicious, and it's super easy because, you know, if you have very modest kitchen equipment, you're essentially ready to go.
A lot of one pot kind of recipes involved in that, which makes it super simple. And the recipes, I know meatloaf sounds like a really involved thing, but all of their recipes are meant to be cooked in about 30 minutes.
Yep.
So it's really simple for people who are not familiar with cooking already.
And it's also very, like, the language they use to describe stuff is very, like, informal and basic. Like they lead you on to meal prep, and everything kind of goes from, you know, if there's steps that involve you doing two things at once, it's all very clear and understandable. And again, they give you exactly how long it's going to take. So I enjoyed the presentation experience a lot.
Yeah, so if that sounds like something that interests you, HelloFresh is giving $30 off your first week of orders when you visit HelloFresh.com and use our promo code TWD30. That's TWD30. I suggest checking it out if you've never tried a meal kit delivery service, because it is a lot simpler and a big time saver compared to going to the store and shopping for yourself. And I think if you're not already familiar with cooking, or even if you are, you'll find it both fun and easy.
Watching Dead at baldmove.com. Again, we will have a mid-season wrap-up coming out later. So if you want to send feedback, this is not your final attempt. This is not your final venue of getting your feedback, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, we'll consider feedback in the wrap-up cast as well. So we start off with Hunter, who kind of wanted to talk about I guess what is required to reload ammo, because we talked about like, oh, can they make enough ammo quickly enough? What if Eugene just refuses to do it?
Right.
He apparently has some firsthand knowledge about it, and I'm going to paraphrase a much more detailed email about it. He says, we know that they have plenty of casings, so that's not going to be a problem. They've spent many bullets over the course of this battle. The bullets he's making, that Eugene would make, would be a little bit worse than the bullets that Rick has. So like, you know, not made of the same materials and stuff like that. Powder could be found or potentially made using stuff like charcoal, sulfur, and potassium nitrate, which he would probably buy that Eugene could manufacture. Although,
yeah, I've seen the Gorn episode of Star Trek. I know how to make.
Right.
I know you got to find some bamboo and some saltpeter, and you got to have Spock narrating the whole thing. And yeah, you take that overgrown sleeve stack right out.
He says that the gunpowder they would make wouldn't be quite as effective as,
of course,
like
the modern
gunpowder
propellant they got now.
Rick would be using. Also, he says that the primers would be the most difficult component, which I think is what you said.
Right. Like, I don't, like, if someone gave me primers and casing and gunpowder and lead, like, it could be like fucking lead bullion or whatever the hell you call it. Like, I think I can make a bullet after a couple of tries with the equipment. But, what? Like some itty-bitty thing that gets hit and it makes a charge go off? Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he says those are hard to find even today. So.
To me, like, I feel like what I like years down the line, I think what happened is you just go muzzleloader. Like, people killed people with muzzle-loaded rifles for centuries before someone invented the modern cartridge. So
true, but it'd be pretty ineffective against Rick and company with modern assault rifles.
But they'll eventually, that's what I'm saying, like, everyone will run out of bullets eventually. Now, in America, like, I think in over in
it'll take longer.
Over in the UK and their zombie thing, they ran out of bullets like in the first week.
Yeah.
And it's all been billy
in
clubs.
Those first 28 days.
It's all been billy clubs and bangers and mash since. But in America, it'll take a couple.
They've been going to the Winchester looking for one-shot rifles.
Yeah, looking for the last six shots that gun had.
Yep.
But
so he thinks that they could manufacture a lot of bullets if they were somehow able to find the components, like the primers, for instance. And they could do so relatively quickly. He says in a modern, like, kind of manual bullet press or whatever, it takes like 1 to 2 seconds to make a round.
Mm-hmm.
So you get people working around the clock with the team, and you could do a lot of rounds a day.
How many rounds an hour? How many?
I mean, if it's 1 to 2 seconds per round,
Yeah.
you got to say 60 rounds a minute, so 360 an hour.
Okay, so you could.
It's not bad. A few magazines an hour.
You could maybe equip.
10,
I mean,
12.
I don't know where they got the manpower. So he's saying the bullets, but also wasn't like they didn't have that bullet maker right at the Savior complex either. It was out in
some
the field
people
somewhere.
are speculating that maybe the helicopter was going to retrieve it.
Negan's had a helicopter this whole fucking time?
Maybe. I don't know. That's just what some people are saying. Hey, maybe that could be the purpose of that.
Okay.
Because we saw a helicopter, we don't know whose it is.
That's true, but if it's affiliated with Negan...
You'd think he'd use it, yeah.
Yeah.
To maybe, I don't know, airlift them out of the sanctuary.
Right.
Like, he should be saying, no sweat, we've got that helicopter, guys.
Right. It'll take a while, but we can get everybody out. You know, because there's
and
only
it wouldn't even take that long. It's a big, like... Chinook or something. It's like huge transport helicopter,
I thought it was like
right?
a Bell, like maybe you get 6 people in there with a pilot.
I forget what it looked like. I thought it was like a double rotor. Like,
is it double rotor?
I thought I remembered seeing that, but if it's...
I thought it was just like, you know, your standard civilian helicopter kind of thing.
That makes sense. All right, we go to Sam from New York, says he really enjoys the show, and he's talking about our podcast, not the show. After you guys talked about rumors on Season 3, Fear the Walking Dead actually being good, I binged it all out of desperation after how awful The Walking Dead has gotten. Fear the Walking Dead is definitely better than the current season of The Walking Dead, but still has a lot of the inherent problems that The Walking Dead has, like characters being inexplicably dumb, to forward ham-fisted plots, ridiculous healing time for injuries, stealth zombies, characters appearing and disappearing randomly, etc. But it does have a couple really cool arcs and characters to its credit. Hopefully Lenny James does well in Fear the Walking Dead.
Well, the good news is they fired the successful showrunner of Season 3 and brought on Gimple.
Fuck me.
For Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah. The 1-2 punch. The AMC executives with Gimple at the helm.
I feel like Gimple is like the stupid version of Morgan stalking Rick from Georgia to the East Coast.
Right, he's been stalking the Fear the Walking Dead.
He's been stalking the Fear the Walking Dead. He murders, like, what is this? Erickson, I think, is the guy, and then pulls off his mass reveal Gimple.
Yep. All right, Lucas from Milwaukee says, I used to watch The Talking Dead several years ago because I liked both Walking Dead and Chris Hardwick. Now, however, I only watch every 4th episode of The Walking Dead or so, and only because I like your podcast. And if an episode sounds entertaining, I'll watch it. But I haven't seen The Talking Dead in years. My question, should I watch The Talking Dead? Is it as equally entertaining to watch Chris have a nervous breakdown trying to stay positive about the show while having the most cognitive dissonance since Westworld? Thoughts?
Man, I wanted to watch because I had time to watch The Talking Dead, and I started to, but like Gimple's smug, denial of like, like especially it would be gross and insulting even if you didn't know the backstory behind Chandler's getting his ass handed to him unexpectedly. I guess he only found out 2 weeks before they filmed these scenes, so. I just found everything about his manner and attitude to be off-putting and gross, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, watching that show, I wish I could have an honest, like, heart-to-heart conversation with Chris Hardwick. Because he's got to be under some kind of contract.
Oh, yeah.
To do that show. He's forced to, week in and week out, get on there and softball these people.
Yeah.
And pretend like the show is something better than it is. I don't know. That may be genuinely how he feels, but I would love to know what goes on in his head when he's filming these. He's got to be, because he's not a dumb dude. He has got to know.
But I think he does. His public persona purports to enjoy a lot of dumb things.
Oh, sure.
So, and I do think there's
me too. Though.
Here's the thing: I started watching the show because I thought it was going to be a serious, high concept.
Yep.
AMC drama, like what Game of Thrones is to fantasy, this was going to be to zombie literature.
And it absolutely tried.
I am not the guy that's like, I just want to see dudes get chopped up and bit, and I'm making an elaborate, stupid accent. I don't know why, because that's a perfectly valid way to watch a show. Like, and if you're doing that and you're super happy with it, fine. I just never was watching for that thing, and the fact that that's not only all that's left, but they're not even doing that particularly well. There's hardly anything left for me. So I don't. But the thing is I could buy Chris Hardwick enjoying it on that level as well.
Yeah. But then, I mean, the show, the Talking Dead, he comes to with questions like about theme and questions about characters and looking for insights and he doesn't seem like the guy who would just say, yeah, it's awesome because exploding zombie heads.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that he can engage in that sometimes, and so can I, but
well, here's what we do.
It has to.
We wait until this show is canceled and he's no longer got a contract at AMC, and then we try to get him on. We try to get him on like an episode of Bald Move TV, and we interview him and say like, okay, like I don't know, but like, you know, blink twice if you thought this was a crock of shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, because like I do feel like that's one. That's all. You know, Chris seems like a nice guy, but he gets paid to carry people's water, and he seems happy to do it. Mm-hmm. That's fine. It's just not. It's not the show. It's not something I'm interested in being a part of.
I won't even say he's happy to do it, but he does it.
Yeah,
and that's all you need.
But like, if you need him for, like, I remember, I mean, if you need him for anything, like, I was watching like some special features for Wreck-It Ralph a couple years back, and he had this pop-up feature where like every 30 seconds he would pop up in the corner of the screen and give this like near hysterical fanboy knowledge about whatever video game is on the thing. And like literally, if you pay Chris to geek out about something, he's kind of like Will Wheaton in that way. Like, do you need a non-offensive, attractive dude with a high Q rating to be enthused about your product? Chris Hardwick is your man.
It's pretty accurate.
I'm not saying he would like.
That's the vibe I get.
I'm not saying he'd stoop for like a child molester. Or like I'm not saying he doesn't have personal and professional limits. I'm just saying that like quality, I don't think enters into it.
Okay. But as far as watching the show to watch him have a nervous breakdown, he really doesn't. He holds it together. If he's having a nervous breakdown, you don't really see it on TV. Yeah. Like, I mean, shit, the week after his dad died, he was back on that show doing his thing, and it did not seem to affect the performance much at all.
Hardwick works fucking hard at his wick. And no, he works really hard, and he's very fucking professional.
Yes.
Which is why he gets a lot of work.
So don't go to it looking for the breakdown, because it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Mike from St. Louis. So he found our podcast during the episode where Tara went to Oceanside for the first time, which is important to the context of this email, where he says, anyway, my question is this. Since I've stopped watching and the show sounds to have remained declining in quality, was there ever a callback or mention of the key card that Tara found in that episode? Remember, it was the one that Heath went missing.
I think we just talked about this last, at the very end of the feedback. Fuck no.
Yeah, that key card, completely useless. Heath, completely gone for the rest of eternity as far as I'm concerned. None of those things are coming back. They were all... I couldn't even tell you what purpose they served. Even during the episode that we had just watched, and we were talking about it in the moment it happened, I couldn't have told you what it was about.
Right.
2 years later, no, I still can't tell you. Sorry.
I mean, that happens to shows. Like, I remember... early on in Star Trek The Next Generation, there was this whole plot line about the Federation being taken over by fucking parasites live in your brain. Yep. And at the end of that episode...
You see another Admiral wink at the camera or whatever.
No, Riker and Picard zap the main infested Admiral, and you think everything's cool, but then you see a signal go out to deep space, and you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then next year, the Borg. So, like... There was nothing like it would actually be kind of funny if some Star Trek set in the future of Next Generation deals with the fucking neck thorn aliens coming back to get their vengeance. They just their warp drive is for shit. They can take over your brain like nobody's business, but it's like fucking the Clampets. They're just like in this interstellar truck, and it's got a big old tablecloth thrown over the shit in the back, and grandma's like riding shotgun. It's just going to take them a long time to get there.
Yeah.
So I mean, it happens. Not everything pays off, but we've been really spoiled in the golden age of television for it not to be the norm.
That's fair.
Walking Dead, it's just a Tuesday when shit like that happens.
All right, Steve from Ohio, what the fuck was that? Once again, so much hype for so much garbage. I don't know why I watch this shit show anymore. You're trying to tell me Rick didn't kill Negan when he had Lucille? Come on now. Kudos to Chandler Riggs for staying around so long. Honestly, gonna miss his character. But what are the odds Gimple pulls another bullshit Glenn move and finds a way to keep Carl alive next season? Thoughts? Either way, they'll fuck this up. Yeah, we kind of already talked about this. I mean, but I got a lot of emails about that. Like, probably 10 emails just saying, Carl's not dead. Carl's gonna live. They're gonna fucking pull some bullshit.
But how is that not just a Glenn dumpster? How is that not a false cliffhanger that was going to make? I mean, that's the huge tragedy about the Glenn thing, right? That they fucking did this soft shoe, and then they just brutally killed him off like a few episodes later anyway, which simultaneously blunted the emotional impact to the audience. And I mean, how are people rooting for this? Like, I love the character of Carl, and I want to see him grow up into this badass man that his dad passes the torch to, but not like that. Not like that. This. Not like yeah. I'm that little blonde assassin from the Matrix. Not like this.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure we have more emails about it in here. I had to kind of blitz through the emails this week. There were so many.
I mean, I did. Like I said, like it wouldn't. That's the thing. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm slightly impressed by the sophistication of the messaging that they're put out to make people think that Carl is dead. Like, that's like going whole hog. That's different from having Kit Harington come out and be like, no, I'm really dead, for an interview or two. Like, having the mom and the dad and Chandler Riggs grousing about what an asshole Gimple is in public. But yeah, there is like the weird radioactive zombies that they introduced, and there was, I read on Reddit, and I wasn't able to confirm it, there was some background chatter about like weird looking blood leaking out of some of these zombies. And
yeah, I don't think any of that. That's
what I'm saying. Like, even if it's true, it's stupid.
Yeah.
And if it's not true, then womp womp. Anyway.
Yeah, this is not a Marvel show. Like,
whoa,
radioactivity does not mutate you in the ways required to get superpowers. Like, come on, people.
Yeah.
I know. There's an inundation of superhero stuff in the past decade, but that's not the show.
There was an interesting theory that I saw today about someone postulating, like, what if anyone born after the apocalypse is naturally immune?
Sure.
Like, if you find out that Judith is immune, and like that makes the children even more important to preserve, and they're like even more of a precious resource than they are just day in, day out. And like a twist like that, again, on a better show would be interesting. It would be a signal that the show is turning into a more hopeful direction and maybe wrapping things up because eventually the show's got to end, and it's got to end at a happy ending or the zombies win, right?
Okay.
Well, that'd be one version of, I guess, a happy ending. But just being randomly immune because of a radioactive zombie bite, I don't really buy it.
I don't either.
It is going. I mean, that's a total Guy Ferrari move, like total Z Nation, man. Radioactive zombie bites. They give you all all the strengths of zombies and none of their weaknesses.
Yep.
What's the strength of a zombie? They don't die.
I guess so.
Because everything else is pretty much weaknesses.
They don't have to eat.
Yeah, they don't have to eat. They don't have to.
I don't know. They probably do. They shit? Do they do? They just don't have any bodily functions.
They're freed from the enslavement to their genitals.
Yep. And their brain as well.
But they are enslaved for a lust for just general meat.
That's true.
So the zombie virus giveth, the zombie virus taketh away.
Sure does. All right, Jean, I don't know how you say that. Jean, let's call her. She says, "Okay, so what about old man Rick? Were we just supposed to let that go? I was hoping that the flash forward would have been explained in 808. Also, if a cure for Carl's bite is discovered, I will not be happy." We didn't talk a ton about this, but like that flash forward, which appears to no longer be a flash forward, it is some kind of fantasy that Rick is having in a moment of I guess utter despair that it will never come true because he's sitting over Carl's grave.
Not only is the vision completely a non sequitur that comes out of nowhere, but what is the context of it?
It has to be him wishing that could have been a possibility, but he knows that it no longer is.
Right.
He's got to be over the grave of his son, and potentially someone else close to him, maybe Michonne or Judith. I don't know. That's the only way I can reconcile that scene.
Yeah. Oh man, are we? Yeah, are we having a spoiler section?
I hadn't planned on it now.
Oh, okay, let's do a spoiler section because I kind of want to talk about. I want to delve a little bit more on how radically this just is a divorcing from what the because I stopped reading shortly after All Out War, but I went about a dozen issues past that, and like I can't get over what a fuck. This is the remix of all remixes. This is a remix that breaks the fucking universe.
Yeah,
like. This is the timeline Hitler won. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how you tell any story,
especially
in
since
the future
they've
of The
built
Walking Dead.
All the tracks have gone to that future.
Yeah,
like I've read the comics enough to know that they were laying these tracks to go to that future, and then like YOLO. I mean, that's the thing. I don't believe a fucking word about what Gimple says about this serving the story.
No,
because you're a shitty storyteller. This does seem just like fucking vengeance. It feels like corporate vengeance.
Yeah,
it feels like punishment for having your dad go out on social media 2 seasons ago and grouse about your contract being over and how nobody's really thinking about that.
Mm-hmm. Could be. I don't know. I am not privy to all of the information behind the scenes.
No, this is like I said, the stuff that's publicly available doesn't seem to support many other conclusions. But again,
yeah,
more side. I that's the thing. Like because I try to approach things and be fair minded about it. But I'm like, in what universe does Gimple and AMC actually have the best? Have the best in mind for both Chandler Riggs, the story of The Walking Dead, and the audience. Like to reject the theory that like what the Riggs family is putting forward actually happened, I'd have to like believe in a universe where the AMC executives have a fucking heart and a brain, and it doesn't seem like there's any evidence to support that.
Damn, brutal. All right, Murder Bear says, I'm done. I never understood why the people who have been able to listen to a podcast without watching the show, or rather, he's never understood those people, but I guess that's how it's going to be now. The show is such a monumental waste of time, I can't devote my Sundays to it anymore. You get one good scene for every 7 blatantly mediocre scenes and a couple of horrible head-scratching scenes thrown in for good measure. I think it's really, really stupid they're killing Carl. If that scene wasn't at the end of a terrible episode and season, I might have felt more than just the joy I feel for Chandler Riggs being able to gracefully exit this dumpster fire. It might even set up an interesting dynamic between Rick and Sadiq the next season, since it happened when Carl was doing something his dad didn't want him to. Hopefully you guys will let me know. Also, Aaron, more Wildcat. Daryl, please, works like a charm every time. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Very low, and it's a very subdued Daryl. Not a lot of the Wildcat was tame this episode.
He is. I mean, he had to feel pretty stupid this episode.
Other than smashing Jerry's car with his garbage truck, right. that was
and Reg's cold rolled steel.
That's really the only Wildcat we got in this episode.
Mm-hmm. Travis M., did you guys just confirm a major new tinfoil fan theory that has yet to be uncovered by the Walking Dead fans? That being Shiva plus Daryl equals Wildcat Daryl or Feral Daryl. Maybe when Shiva died, her spirit entered Daryl, and that's why he's so fucking wild this season.
Totally.
Damn, this shit is just as complex as Game of Thrones. We never even knew it.
Yeah.
Not really. This show is garbage now, but we've dropped something important in the trash pile, like a family heirloom that we once valued, and someone has to dig through it. You guys are doing... you guys. And... we love what you're doing. Okay. Sure. I literally, my brain will not let me read any of the dick sucking that comes in through the emails. I get suddenly dyslexic when I see anyone praising us.
That's the thing. Like, again, as I always say, is like we don't read it, and not because we don't enjoy it.
Sure.
It's just for time.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. But
and it's for the audience. Like I understand when people write in and they say like a whole bunch of good things about us and they want us to feel good. We feel good about it.
Yeah, no, that actually works.
But everybody else listening to this show doesn't care to hear it.
Right.
So we don't include it in the show.
But yeah, no, like Daryl's attitude has been that of a bobcat being forced into a tub of soapy water. Just the whole time is just.
God, you can't even do that with a house cat. I can't imagine a bobcat.
That's what I'm saying. Try to get Daryl in a tub of soapy water. It's not happening. That's why his hair looks the way it has. Last time he took a shower, Beth died, and he just said, never again. Never again.
All right. Herb says, yeah, sure, R.I.P. Carl, I guess. Once again, this is The Walking Dead doing The Walking Dead things. Huge emotional moment with just enough cliffhanger to bring us to the next season. Would have liked to see Carl's full ending tonight, not 6 months from now. The delay is unnecessary. Not to mention Gimple sidestepping answering if Carl is dead during Talking Dead TV show. Did you see this? Did you see this quote from Gimple where he says it will play out like bites play out on this show?
Right. Which
is... Here's the thing. It's not vague, but it feels like you're avoiding the question. When you don't come out and like Chandler Riggs did say, yes, I'm fucking dead.
Right.
Then it feels like you're avoiding, even if you're maybe not.
I know, because if you parse it, this will play out like bites play out on this show. That means he will die and turn into a zombie unless someone destroys his brain.
Yes, but
there's
the
no
easy
other way to read
and
that.
Obvious and clear answer to that question is yes, he is dead.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the douche. That's the kind of douche that started up, and I'm like, I can't do this.
No,
I can't. This man does
either.
not respect me, himself, or his audience. So
yeah. Okay, Nathan E. says, if you remember last season, Carl was so hell-bent on taking people out that he hid in one of the Savior's trucks to sneak into their compound and kill them. Now this season, he's moralizing on some let's give Hope a chance bullshit. This is a classic example of The Walking Dead changing someone's personality to fit in the direction they want to take the story. What made Carl change his mind on that? Or did he not change his mind? Was he just after Negan? Because I don't quite remember.
Change his mind on what now?
So Nathan's saying that basically he wants to save everyone, including Negan, whereas last season he was in a truck going to Negan's compound to kill him.
I mean,
and I don't remember why he changed his mind.
I couldn't tell you either, and it's just the danger of remixing. Like,
yeah,
it's so weird because a lot of the sins of this episode are because they are continuing to remix the All Out War.
Yeah,
and increasingly now that they're killing a major character who the show is ostensibly about, like, I don't even know that, like, that's not a remix. That's an alternate history. So, but they will continue to mine, I'm sure, try to mine the best parts of the comic and ruin them because those beats in the comic that work are specific to the characters and their motivations built up over the years. The most frustrating opinion I've seen from the apologists of The Walking Dead was, well, you thought it was going to be Carl, but if Carl has vital storylines, they can just give it to another character. No, they fucking can't. This is Rick Grimes' son, who we've seen grow up in this show. You can't just fucking give a vital plot point to Carl. It's not like Andrea. You can give Andrea shit to Michonne and it's fine. Like this...
Right. And that's the reason that I'm saying I don't know that they can salvage this show.
No.
And they might need a full reboot.
Right.
Or just fucking drop it. Like, forget the show for 20 years and then reboot it.
Do a Star Trek. Make it.
But my point being that they have fucked up these characters so badly, and we're missing massive things that made the comic work that take years to build. Years. You have to fundamentally create these relationships from the ground up, or when the big moments happen, they don't work, and they have done none of that.
Right. And that's what they've so many times. The things are really weird and off-pittings because they gave one character's plot to a different character who doesn't have the supporting motivation.
Right.
And like it can work, but it's not nearly as meaningful.
No.
And
sometimes they get it right occasionally, like Carol. Carol has been one of those characters where it seems like they've done some work on her over the years.
That is a wholly original character to Gimple, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, Carol which to me says the remixes are fucking it up.
In the comics, Carol died in the prison.
Yeah.
So, and Daryl, Daryl was a completely invented thing for it. So,
and they're kind of tied together.
Right.
But I think they have done some characters justice in a lot of situations. It's just that they don't do it consistently with the characters that we need to care about. Specifically like Rick and Carl, where I think we have an email about this, but what the hell is Carl and Rick have no screen time together in this season?
Not really.
Why is Rick not trying to help Carl through all of this? Like, why are they not talking? Why is he not making him his lieutenant? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Bring Carl under your wing, and so when Carl dies, it's much more effective.
Yeah, no, when Carl and it just there's a lot of stuff like the Carl saying this is my show, everyone fall in line is undercut because that torch has not been passed.
Right, and Rick has no idea that it's gonna be passed. Like,
right.
If he were grooming Carl,
yes,
that would be a totally different thing. And now where does that leave him? Carl's dead. He spent so much time and effort focusing on Carl being the next generation of this. Now that's gone. What does he do? You lose all that.
Yeah.
You lose it all with the way they've told the story.
What just Enid can be. Like, really? Really? You're going to build Enid into a surrogate daughter for Rick, how many lines has he had with her?
Yeah. How many years will that take for us to believe it as an audience member?
Yes, and do you
Less
trust...
than what's left on Rick's contract?
And also, do you trust Gimple to do it?
No.
Like, even if you had the years, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'll just stop it with all this. Like, you can just give Carl... No, you fucking can't. No, you can't. Yeah, let's kill off the hero of Game of Thrones and make the hero some random fucking scullery maid from a minor house that we've not ever seen until season 7. Sure. Yeah, it'll be as effective.
Nathan has one other point. He says, in light of all the horrible shit that's going on, I would like to give the show credit for one thing. This is the first time in about 4 seasons that we finally got rid of the single plotline storytelling. Even the Kingdom and Eugene-centric episodes had scenes with Rick. I would like to keep that going forward. See you guys in the next half season. Maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah. But that is true, but I feel like they fucked it up in other ways. Mm-hmm. They did not do the single POV episodes that they've been doing in the past. However, they did not execute well enough on the multiple POV episodes that we saw.
Yeah, it's like
it became a mess instead of this singularly focused mess. It's just a schizophrenic mess.
And it's funny because we said that the very first episode. They are telling the story of a heist without us knowing what the stakes are, what the strengths are, what the weaknesses are, where the locations are. And that was a problem all fucking season. And I don't understand how that got out of the fucking bulletin board stage.
I don't know, man. They're trying to do something artsy with this show, and it's not working.
You're saying don't blame Gimple, but
well, don't put all the blame on
Gimple, but
I'm saying blame him, but
I don't think AMC is telling Gimple he can't just make a straightforward adaptation of The Walking Dead.
Sure,
because honestly, that would be the easiest thing in the fucking world to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the creative aspects of it,
because
I think, is
all
fair
of the
to blame
technically
him,
hard things like a CGI tiger and a kingdom full of dudes wearing body armor and putting Carrie Payton in dreads every episode, that happens anyway.
Sure.
So just fucking tell the story of the comic book.
And I could understand if the writers are in the room saying, let's do something awesome with this season. And they just don't have enough time to do it. Like the executives say, look, you got 6 weeks to write this thing and block it all. And that's it. And they get halfway into their experiment here with a bunch of face montages and flash forwards and flashbacks, and they go, oh shit, we don't have enough time to pull this off. But if you do that season after season after season, that's on you.
Right. Like this is, it should be so easy. They have the comic book covers and they start with 30. At the beginning of the season, they're like, how many of these
you just block it with comic book covers?
That's what I'm saying. You literally okay, well, we'll do this, we'll do this 8 this, and this 6 next, and or maybe we'll save this for. You can shift things around, but fucking, it's even storyboarded for you. What the fuck do you think Allard was drawing those pictures for? Christ!
But the trouble is, it's storyboarding with characters that no longer exist. So the writers get in there and they go, "Who's that?"
But I'm saying all that
Glenn who? I've just came in this season, guys. I don't know anything about this.
Most of that, honestly, there was nothing that, if you want to go back to Mazera, the only thing Mazera really did that fucked Gimple potentially was kill Andrea.
Sure.
But that would have been a pretty easy way to adapt their way out of it. It just continues to perplex me that these guys struggle with these basic things when the shit's already been done and storyboarded. All you got to do is undo the staples in that comic book, cut them out, paste them around, move them around, fill out the dialogue if you need more dialogue, and you're on your way, man. You're on your way.
I can't imagine that that's very creatively satisfying, but
and that's why I'm back to Blaine. Thank you for bringing this back around, because it seems to me that we've been talking about Kirkman remixes. No, I think it's these are Gimple remixes, because again, I can't believe AMC's whatever you do, Gimple, whatever you do not fucking adapt these comics directly from Kirkman's work. They might say, you need to stretch the season out because we don't want to do a new location, in which case, we're only going to do 6 episodes instead of 16. But this just doing whatever the fuck you want, and it has repercussions. You can't do it. It's like they're making they're making this weird clip show from a show that doesn't exist, and so it's really frustrating.
Matt S. from Melbourne says, also in regards to Morgan, also? Wow, I must have cut some of your email. Sorry, Matt. In regards to Morgan joining Fear the Walking Dead, there is no time jump necessary, because I think we were speculating on this from another email from someone else. If I recall correctly, Season 4 of Fear the Walking Dead will take place roughly around the same time of Season 2 of The Walking Dead, and we don't know where Morgan was or what he's doing in that time.
Oh, that's true.
I imagine we're going to get an earlier version of Morgan, perhaps even with his son in tow, and we can watch all of that shit with the inevitable descent into morgalizing. Although, I got to say, it would be really hard to bring... You can't bring that actor back.
No,
you'd have to recast him.
Yeah.
Because he's probably like a grown-ass man at this point.
Yeah.
But
Chandler,
but then you would have to assume that Morgan can get across the country and back in the time it takes from Season 2 to Season, 6? Wait, when does the Clear episode happen?
That's Season 3, right?
Okay, so you'd have to get Morgan across the country and back in one season?
But there was a big time. There was a big time jump between
until
season 2
5?
and Season 3. Remember the harsh Georgia winter and.
I mean, big time jump. We're talking about the apocalypse here. It's not as easy to travel across the country anymore.
True.
You can't just hop a flight to L.A.
Yeah. So Clear happens towards the end of episode 3 or Season 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, the other thing is as I haven't seen Fear the Walking Dead, they could move towards the Heartland. Like they meet in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, I guess I don't know
and then
where
tell a
they
news
are
story based in Colorado or
fucking
Illinois or something. Yeah. Nah, I mean, but there again, fucking Gimple's taken over, so he might just be like YOLO. I'll just drop Lenny James in this LA-based zombie show, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. He'll get back to the terminus, and everything will be fine.
Maybe. He sees a future where Morgan could be on both shows, I guess. But we'll see. All right, Jeff from Lexington says, overall, I'm going to say I enjoyed this episode. Granted, I'm grading on the Walking Dead curve, so it doesn't make the episode great, but it was much better than the 7 leading up to it. Having said that, I have a concern. He actually had 2 concerns, but I cut one. His only concern that I read is the problem that he sees hasn't fully come to fruition, but they'll mess it up. Daryl is directly responsible for all that's happening. He's the reason the Saviors escaped and are taking over Alexandria.
Well, now, is that true? Because I felt like this episode kind of ham-fistedly tried to say that's not.
How so?
Like, they didn't they ask Dwight? Like, because, like, how is this flooding the lower level of the sanctuary with zombies make it more likely that the Saviors shoot their way out?
The only thing I can think of is that it let all the walkers in where the people with guns could safely take them out to avoid, like, sniper fire from the Alexandrians.
Speaking of sniper fire, where are those fucking snipers when Eugene was up on the roof trying to launch that fucking, now that I'm thinking about it.
Right.
Like, you got guys fucking around with this weird flying contraption.
Well, it was Morgan. Morgan was telling them all to help Daryl, right?
Right, so they weren't, yeah.
They were guarding Daryl as he drove his dump truck in there.
No, you're right. If the snipers had maintained their position, there's no way they could have pushed out and killed all those zombies without getting taken out by sniper fire.
Right. It seems like they just
maybe this
covered Daryl and then bounced.
Okay.
Like, I don't know why, though.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like Daryl was just hanging out with, like, the posse of the damned so far. It was like Tara, Rosita, Michonne hasn't done anything too crazy. I mean, she was impatient. She wanted to see the Saviors surrounded by zombies herself. Okay, fair enough.
And she blames herself because she left and this shit happened while she was gone, but she couldn't have done anything against it.
No. But there is, I guess you're right, there is a persuasive argument that you could lay a lot of blame here on Daryl.
I think so.
But that's the other thing. It's like, guys, don't get too like Norman Reedus is not going to sign another 5-year contract. Andy, I've heard again. This was all the talk back in season 5, but I've heard Andrew Lincoln's contract is up at the end of this season 8. can they get him back to come back for? There's no way they're going to get him to come back for 5 more.
No,
like this shit is all coming to an end, whether Gimple and AMC wants to or not. Yeah. Because the other thing is, I haven't seen any public statements, but there's a lot of things that Andrew Lincoln has said on social media in the last 48 hours, and that like Chandler Riggs has said, like some kind of subtext that leads me to believe that like a lot of the cast doesn't like what's going on here. Mm-hmm. Which, if my analysis of this being a vindictive thing is right, then, you know, like I don't know who AMC thinks they fucking are, that like they're going to intimidate Andrew Lincoln and Norman Reedus. Like you guys will be fucked up and washed up forever.
Right?
You'll never work in this town again if you say fuck you to AMC Studios. Nah. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah. I don't know, man. His whole thing is like Daryl sabotaged the plan, and Rick should do something about that. And I think I had mentioned this, that he basically should probably kill Daryl.
Or Daryl should go to jail.
Okay, Daryl should be put in a timeout at the very least. He doubts they'll do anything like that severe to Daryl. They'll probably just forget about it, that it was all Daryl's fault.
It would be interesting to see like Daryl, Dwight, and Negan in a jail cell together.
Yeah.
You know? Like Negan's life.
Put Ratface guy in there too. Why not?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Have the quadfecta.
And the slowly turning Carl. Put them all in there.
Yeah. Because, you know, I think if you actually did that, Negan would do like the governor's daughter treatment to Carl. And
I like this kid.
That's right. Look at the stones on this zombie.
Right, you're not taking him out.
Watermelon-sized zombie balls.
All right, Patrick W., I'm so disappointed in the reveal that Carl got bitten. Not the fact that he was bitten, just the scene itself. This is an example of sloppiness and the crew just not giving a shit. Does the crew not remember Carl getting shot in the stomach in Season 2? Where's the scar from the injury and the subsequent surgery performed by Herschel when Carl pulls up his shirt to reveal the bite? Likewise, when Rick was running around in his underwear last week, did we see any evidence of his pilot episode gunshot wound? Nope. He had a bandage from being grazed, but based on the Grimes men's amazing regenerative powers...
Wait, I thought there is a pretty prominent scar on Andrew Lincoln.
There certainly was at some point. I don't know if it was there during the trash people stuff.
I thought I saw that episode. That there's like this distinctively like brown...
Calling you out, Patrick.
Yeah,
Calling you out.
Yeah, I thought I saw it, and it was like I think in the same chest, general chest area. I didn't see it on his chest. I saw it on his back.
Okay.
Like the exit wound, maybe.
Which would probably be bigger and leave a nastier scar. So.
Yeah.
All right, Jamie asks.
Because that's the thing, like, I don't know that the hair and makeup people fuck shit up. And that's kind of, that'd be on them, right? The FX guys. Like, they just forget to put the scars on Rick.
Yeah, should be on them. Jamie,
that's what I'm saying. There, you can usually trust them to be professional and do good work.
Yeah. Jamie S. says, The Walking Dead is driving me nuts with its inconsistencies. I do not think the writers even watch their own show. This whole half season, Negan has been repeatedly saying he wants the widow, the king, and Rick. In this episode, they get Ezekiel. They attempt to get Rick, but they just let Maggie go. They had her dead to rights and just let her go. Why? Makes no sense at all and is such inconsistent storytelling. The only defense I can think of is they need the supplies from the hilltop, but
They don't need Maggie,
I don't think that's justified.
They don't need Maggie.
Right, and Negan, like they should be afraid that if they don't bring Maggie back with them and they had their hands on her, that Negan would kill Simon. Mm-hmm. I mean, Simon's already in a little bit of hot water.
Right.
And he's just going to let one of the 3 major people that Negan is looking to
Negan,
put...
I mean, this isn't Simon calling an audible. There's no way. Like, Simon is doing what Negan wants him to do.
Then why has Negan suddenly turned around on the widow?
I have no idea. That's what I'm saying. Like, it really doesn't
Either way,
make any sense.
It's inconsistent. Yep. All right, Corey says, I haven't watched one episode this year, but I've been listening to the podcast. Now that Carl's dead, is that it for you guys? It seems like Aaron was only hanging on because he wanted to see the story of Carl and Rick. And that's kind of the thing that you addressed earlier. Mm-hmm. So I guess we can skip that one. But yeah, it'll definitely be part of our 2018 content discussion that we do at the beginning of the year. Eric E. So I'm reading these recaps of last night's episode, and one thing sticks out to me. At the beginning of the season, we see old man Rick wake up and see Michonne, Carl, and was presumably Judith. If Carl was bitten and ends up dying, and then this was just a dream sequence, If so, fuck Gimple right in the ear for doing such a ridiculous fake out. And if Carl is really alive after getting bitten, well, then fuck you in the other ear, Gimple.
Well, I mean, Gimple
that goes
did
against all the rules the show has been abiding by.
Gimple did use the Barbara Walters Lynn's dream effect, and we should have all known that this was a dream sequence. Because you just should have known. You should have known. They used the gauzy filter.
You know, sometimes I feel like they got the label switched on their dream or flash forward filter. And I can't tell.
That's
the
what I'm saying. Like
sometimes.
I'm being entirely sarcastic.
Oh, I know.
No one like. Yeah, no, it's and then the thing is like the fucking this plot and the timeline is such a fucking mess, man.
Darabont came in and switched the labels on him, and now suddenly their flash forward becomes a dream, and nobody
none of
notices.
Their directors, photographers, or editors knows, and
they get one take on every scene, so they yelled rolling and they yelled action, and then that was it. That's their one take, so can't go back. All right.
It takes way too much time for the face montages to try to get that stuff.
Sure does.
And we know that's how you build drama, the face montages.
A face montage seems like a pretty easy thing to film to me. Like, let's get a green screen.
Something you can do with all the characters in separate locations, too.
Just get them, like, if they're all on set, just get them all to walk by the camera real slow.
Yeah.
To walk by the camera with the green screen behind them, we'll do it all digital.
Right.
Pretty easy. All right, Jeff, love the show. I've stuck with the show since season 1, but no longer feel the need to watch it. Rick and Carl were the only reasons I've kept watching through all the bullshit, but if Carl's arc ends with him dying, I don't care where the story goes now. With that said, I feel a little bit cheated as a viewer that Carl's going to die from a walker bite because, and in no particular order, walkers are no longer the threat they used to be, which I think is fair. This show has told us that, but yet they continue to kill characters.
Let's say the main character just died from 2.5 zombies.
Right, it's fucked up. His death is partially...
By the way, he was armed with a gun.
He was, yeah. And another person to help him out. His number 2, his death is partially at the fault of a character who we have no idea who he is.
Right.
Number 3, if Negan had killed him in front of Rick, it would have been way more powerful and fit with all-out war. Number 4, the bite was essentially off-camera. We know when it took place, but we weren't really supposed to know about it. Curious to know what you guys think. I just think that if they were going to kill off Carl all along, they could have come up with a better way to do it.
Yeah, I saw like some people engaging in some pretty good fan fiction. One was kind of like a Braveheart style where Negan accepts Carl's offer and he was set to publicly he's going to like slit his throat or something, and Rick comes in and he's like got ahead of steam to stop it, and Michonne grabs him and's like, no, Carl's been bit, he's going to die anyway, this is his choice, and Rick has to watch Negan kill his kid. And that would I mean that's the thing. It's like I was like, man, that'd be fucking powerful. Like, why the hell can people on Reddit come up with that in 12 hours after seeing a steaming pile of shit? And I get it. They might not have enough time, but that's the thing. Like, if you just content yourself, shit, I don't know. Like,
it's okay. So I want to read this email from Jake because I think even with as badly as they've fucked up the show and this season in particular, I think there would have been some way to salvage the impact of the finale. And Jake kind of dances around the point, and then I want to talk about that. So he says, prior to finishing the episode, I was getting ready to email in that the show has lost their balls to kill off characters. Now it just appears they've lost their minds. How did the only character death this episode after the Savior's escape come from a walker bite from an unrelated mission? Want to make an exciting, emotional mid-season finale? Scrap the Oceanside storyline and put Enid behind Maggie in the car so that the person who dies matters.
Yeah.
Yes, kill off Jerry. Don't have Ezekiel running around saving the day again. Have him sitting on his throne as they come for him, and then have them publicly execute him right then and there. And he goes on with like how you could kill all these different characters, right?
Yeah. No,
in effective ways.
I thought for sure. I was really bummed during the live watch. I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna fucking kill Jerry.
Yeah,
because I would be not gutted, but
no,
I would
but
feel,
he's a pretty lovable character.
Yeah, he's been a lot. He's been one of the only, like, ever since Eugene stopped working, he's been one of the only really funny comic elements of the show.
Yeah, and I know we don't have a lot of characters like that you can kill and that would be impactful. But what if you killed a lot of characters like that? And Negan came in and really laid down the law, which he should fucking do. He should kill 7-8 characters that we care about. I mean, you go back to like the idea that quantity has a quality all its own, right? Like, you could truly shock people in that way, as opposed to this lame bite that comes out, like he says, out of an unrelated mission. The only person to die from this that we care about isn't even killed because of the actions of these people.
Right.
It's so fucking stupid.
Right. Like, what is the lesson that Rick's supposed to learn from this?
What if Rick's group got literally every last person from the kingdom killed? Every single one of them.
Uh-huh.
Negan just rolls in and kills them all.
Yeah, just razes it to the ground.
I mean, that would be devastating, right?
Yeah.
As more devastating than Carl getting an unrelated bite.
But like I said, like, I mean, again, if you go out to the all-out war plotline in the comics, like, they have really exciting reversals and plot twists and unique and novel forms of combat and dealing with the scarcity of ammo. And this show, just their fucking remixing ruins it. It literally ruins it.
All right, Tom in a Volkswagen says, Aaron has spoken often about the interest he has in following the father-son relationship between Rick and Carl. I think there was actually more value in using the Walking Dead presentation of Rick and Carl as the perfect what not to do guide. Can Aaron recap the parenting lessons he got from this half season? And I'm kind of putting Aaron on the spot here. Well, I've got a couple of my own that I noticed.
I'd have to do a lot more. I'd have to do a lot more transition and training work before I flip the keys to my son for any major ongoing apocalyptic military venture. Mm-hmm. I'd probably do a lot more Sarah Connor and a lot less, gun farming and I don't know, long Saturday bed sessions with my hot new girlfriend. But no, I mean,
I think if you want to follow in Rick's footsteps,
that's what I'm saying. Like the lesson, if the Rick would learn, is like, fuck anyone that's not with my team. Like, I shouldn't go out and try to save people because that's what got my son killed.
Sure, it definitely did.
But he's going to learn the opposite lesson from that. His mercy is going to overcome his wrath.
For no real conceivable reason.
Right.
The thing I learned by watching Rick, and I think this is the way that Walking Dead wants me to view it, is to be almost completely absent in your fathering responsibilities, and then just dream about the glorious future your family's going to have, because that seems to be his strategy.
Right.
All right, Jackie says, I followed this show diligently for its entire run. Like Aaron, I'm a parent, and the parts that have really gotten to me over the years have usually been the child in peril things that The Walking Dead loves to do so much. Right up until the beginning of the last season, they were still making me anxious with that kind of stuff. But now Carl looks like he's going to die, and I honestly can't say I felt much more than mild surprise. I was more affected when Carol had to kill Lizzie, and that's a low, low bar. What's changed exactly, I couldn't tell you, but none of it feels consequential anymore. I'll probably watch this thing to the end out of some dumb stubbornness, but at this point, it would be sort of great to hear AMC tell The Walking Dead to look at the flowers. It's a safe bet that the back half of this season will feature a flashback episode where we see exactly how Carl got bitten, because showing scenes out of sequence is art. Can't wait to experience that sure to be riveting moment. Also, last night's episode was...
Maybe Scott Gimble's a fifth-dimensional being.
He's just playing like a chess game.
Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar. He's just like, this makes perfect sense to me.
Right. He can see the entire board all
Time's
at once.
a flat circle, guys. Just, spin around till it makes sense.
She goes on, also, last night's episode was dark, so literally dark. I couldn't actually tell what was happening half of the time. I turned the brightness up on my TV, and even then it was pretty hard to follow. I had to go, so I was playing it on my laptop. It was so fucking dark, even at my brightest setting. I had to go into the video player and manually adjust the gamma to see what was fucking happening on the screen.
Yeah, between the dark and the smoke, it was one of the uglier things I've seen shot.
It's disgusting
on television.
And it's not in the cool stylistic way.
No, like I said, if you want to see I've talked about this in numerous times, but Better Call Saul is really pushing the limits of what you can do with nighttime shots. They're using new technologies and new cameras that have superior. You can light with a you can just use candlelight to light these scenes, and it looks awesome.
And they have, yeah.
But that requires investing in new and expensive camera technology and DPs that are talented and know how to use it, and are artists that care about their craft. And I don't know who the DPs are, and they whatever. They could be the Seth Rogans of the disaster artist and just like, whatever, man. The checks, as long as the checks cash. So,
yep.
But you can do nighttime shots and shots of battle with fog and fire and not have it look like a muddy black mess.
Yep.
But I can't do it on The Walking Dead.
No. So there's a lot of discussion about the behind the scenes stuff here. And you know, Chandler Riggs and what his deal was as far as like, oh, does he want to go off to college or whatever? And it's weird because like people assume that now that he's off the show, that's what he's going to do. He said exactly the opposite, actually, that he is taking a year to kind of do the acting thing before he decides whether he's going off to college or not. So like him wanting to go off to college, I don't think had a real role in this from his side anyway. I don't know about the AMC executives.
It looks like he was taking, in fact, it looked like he was conscientiously taking steps to make sure he could do both.
Right, he was.
Like from what I've heard, his house, his school, and the set were within easy driving distance. That sucks. That sucks.
For sure. And now that he's not on the show anymore, he's said, I'm not going to college for a year. I'm going to go pursue acting and music and see where that takes me.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. He's got the money to do it. He's got the time if he just holds off on college a year. So that's what he's doing. But a lot of people are like, oh, now he can go to college and do the things. I'm like, that's not what said he's going to do.
That wasn't the barrier to that anyway.
Right. Okay, Barry C. from the UK says, with all the show's very clumsy presentation of time, like was Beth's death 2 years ago or last Thursday, I predict the amount of time it takes Carl to turn to be the longest ever a live Walker turnaround. Probably even the whole half season. According to Chandler Riggs, that is not going to happen. He is in one more episode that he says is the 9th episode of the season, and that's it. So it will not be that long of a turnaround, most likely.
I mean, they've already this shit's already been shot and it's in the can,
right?
So like, I don't think he's speculating. He's telling you how it is. This is the way it's got to be.
Yep. Andrew T says, here's a quandary. Out of all the shows you've covered through the years, which group of characters would survive an all-out war scenario if pitted against the others? What I mean is, if all the core group of characters from the Bald Move universe were somehow sucked up by White Rose into The Walking Dead and had established their own respective sorghum-based communities near Alexandria, who would survive? Would Maeve have her empathy turned down to kill mode? Would Don Draper have an army of riding mowers? Could Bogdan's eyebrows eat Lucille? Would Nucky be able to disguise himself as a walker? I'd say the only two shows would be ineligible or Legion and True Blood. That's just cheating.
Yeah, fucking Nucky could just put some mud on him and he just grrr, and he Steve Buscemi does the rest.
Right.
That's a good question because I was about to say haven't covered a lot of badasses, but we do have the Westworld. I just got finished watching The Punisher. That would be an insane. Watching Frank Castle in the world of The Walking Dead would be pretty nutso.
How about Scully and Mulder?
Scully and Mulder, nah.
They're not going to survive long.
Maybe season 4.
The truth is out there. Oh, and it's right behind you, Scully, and it's about to eat you.
Right.
Turn around. No, seriously.
It's one of those damn stealth walkers. Although Mulder did go toe-to-toe with zombies in that one Millennium crossover episode.
Shit. I don't think I've seen that one.
That was I think a season 7 job. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I
feel like if Walter White and Gus Fring teamed up,
could Luke Cage be bitten by a zombie?
That's a good question.
His skin can repel bullets. So I feel like Luke Cage would just be a one-man wrecking machine to those zombies.
You know what? No one could ever sneak up on Matthew Murdock. No zombies, no matter how stealthy
they are,
could ever sneak up.
Right. He could just avoid them all.
His own footsteps would be all he needed to detect zombies.
Plus, he would just go full on katana. The only reason he doesn't use blades and swords and stuff is because he doesn't want to kill people. Like zombies, he could just go crazy with bow staffs, katanas, and everything else. So yeah, that'd be pretty good. It's essentially the superheroes, where we've gone to the superheroes of the things
we've cheated the system. What are you gonna do?
Hey, he said it, the Bald Move. That's part of it.
Yep,
that's part of it.
Final email.
Maybe
James.
Pete can just always set up zombies where they're on a staircase and tumble down and just like a bowling ball knocking over pins.
Great. Final email. James C. says, as far as I'm concerned, Carl deserved what he got. Anyone who walks around the woods without any armor or protection in this world is an idiot. They've all had plenty of time to make protective clothing. He rolled up a magazine. Hell, a rolled up magazine can protect your arms.
Yep.
Given how weak zombies are now, it would be embarrassing to go out so stupidly.
Seriously, like, I mean, wear a pair of rugged overalls like Carhartt. Yeah. You're done. Leather jacket, you're done. Like you're
maybe even a thick flannel. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
And I get it, like, oh, it's so hot in the hot Georgia, but like, that's when it's 110 degrees outside and I'm riding my motorcycle, I still put on my fucking leather jacket and my boots and my gloves and my helmet because I'd rather sweat than bleed. I'd much rather sweat than get turned into a goddamn zombie.
Yep.
So it's crazy, and you still got Rosita going out in tank tops and shit. Like that's the thing. Like, it's a weird universe because they try to be so self-important and realistic about it, and yet they don't ever learn. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, that's the show I want to see. I want to see these humans MacGyvering both a political society and effective technological countermeasures. Like, to me, this show would all be trying to reboot some kind of feudalism, capitalism system, and fat lady singing, and cold rolled steel armor and all that stuff would be what we'd be doing instead of. I mean, that's the thing. Like, and not that I don't think anyone's accused us of nitpicking this season, but like, I was really thinking about it because I had a little bit of time today of how much shit that we haven't even commented on.
Yeah,
like the fact that Rick and company pulled up with corrugated, galvanized steel panel, like roofing material, and that's stopping bullets.
Right.
I mean,
there's
like that's what I'm saying. Like, we have let so much shit slide. We are talking big picture story things now.
Yeah.
We're not talking about a caper dangling Glenn into a well and how stupid that is. We're talking about like just giant story level shit. You don't have to nitpick when you got that stuff.
No, we just spent 2 hours doing a podcast on a 1.5 hour show, and didn't get into any of the nitty gritty nitpicking stuff. Mm-hmm. There's just no time for it anymore.
Right.
If we had done that, we would have a 2 hour show every single week, and I don't think that's interesting. I don't think it's not something I'm interested in doing. I don't think it's something people are interested in listening to. So I don't know. But that's the end of the feedback, and therefore the end of our episode. We are going to be back next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the spoiler stuff off till next week, because maybe some of the readers can join me in on that. But I want to spend a good amount of time talking about, in my mind, the damage that's been done to the story.
Yeah,
and especially to the all-out war, because again, it's an efficient little fast-moving action storyline that should have been the easiest thing in the world to set up and knock down, and they just chose not to.
And here's the thing that's going to be weird, I think, maybe about this week, is we don't know when we're going to record that episode. So if you want to get feedback in, I suggest getting it in earlier rather than later, because we're running into our Christmas schedule this week, and we have like a ton of stuff to do. So who knows when it'll get recorded?
Right.
But we're planning on releasing it next Tuesday at the usual time.
Yep.
So get your feedback in early if you want to be included in that.
Agreed.
And apologies to all the people I couldn't include this week. There's just a ton of it.
Watching Dead at baldmove.com. Follow us on all the social media. Search for Bald Move. Also, baldmove.com is your hub for everything Bald Move. And, of course, we got the forums. If you want to vent your spleen some more, you can go to forums.baldmove.com. There's an episode thread. Feel free to create a wrap-up thread. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that right now. In the Walking Dead forums for people to gather their thoughts and stuff about that as well.
Cool. That's it. We will see you guys next week for the wrap-up. Until then, I'm Jim.
I'm Aaron. See ya.